So if there's one thing that's for sure, it's that today is going to be wild. I'm expecting a lot of volatility as the day goes on. And what's interesting is both ADA and BTC have both created leverage gaps, meaning we could see some massive swings in terms of price. I want to talk about the ranges of what those may look like on this morning's CPI report. And what's interesting is that a massive insider, someone we've been watching very closely, has actually placed a $175 million bet on the line for this morning's report. Which direction are they thinking things are going to head? So if you guys are new or haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, hit that bell again. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. Looking at ADA price in general, we're kind of putzing around the same area that we have been. This 200-day moving average has really been a strong point of resistance for ADA these past few days. And understand that there's a lot of pressure mounting on this downside to try to push ADA up. And I'm going to show you guys exactly what I mean. But when ADA does start moving past this range, there is the potential for it to move very quickly. Again, potentially to that 80-cent range like we were talking about back on Monday. In terms of BTC, fighting its resistance as well. You guys can see it's sitting right at the edge of its trend, trying to get back within this big descending wedge that it was creating all the way since the early part of December. And basically it's been fighting strong resistance at about 84K. Now, why is this taking place? First of all, when we look at ADA, we can see this leverage gap that's been created there. Basically, there's not a lot of short interest and not a lot of long interest, basically between 71 cents to 75 cents. And we're kind of sitting right around the middle of this. So we're about 73.60 at the time of filming this video, just waiting to make our move for the day. And the CPI report this morning could cause some wild swings in volatility. If we start to get to the downside, let's say it's a bad report, things come back a little hotter than expected, or it's sticky, we could see ADA drop down to the 71-cent range and start basically some of these long leverage liquidations. And frankly, this doesn't stop until about 67 cents. This isn't to scare people. I'm not saying that's where we're headed for sure, but understand that that is where this big bulk of leverage trying to hold ADA up currently sits. Now, that being said, to the upside, right at about 75 cents is where massive short liquidations begin, potentially enough to actually carry us all the way up to about 80 cents. And what we've been seeing actually since the middle of the day yesterday is ADA slowly but surely work its way to higher highs, higher highs, higher highs, higher lows at the same time. So very good momentum push from ADA from that deep dip that we experienced all the way back on the 10th. This is a great sign. And again, you know, there's the potential that if this report is good, we could start seeing that. But what really might help carry ADA even higher is what BTC is doing. BTC has also created a leverage gap here as well. You guys can see it right down at about 81K or so is where those long leverage liquidations begin. And yes, there are some here, but it's not as concentrated as it is on the short side. Massive short interest that's been opened up actually starting middle of the day yesterday, right at about 84K. And that is where BTC has been fighting resistance back on the 10th, fighting resistance yesterday. And now is a huge opportunity for BTC to create some massive short liquidations to the upside. In fact, this is where you could see BTC slingshot to almost 87K. We've had those days where BTC has just had, you know, massive hourly wicks to the upside. This could potentially be one of those, but BTC does have to get into those ranges. Now, first of all, BTC is in fact printing some bullish divergence. This is a great sign. You guys can see these bottoms. Whoa, if I could draw, you guys can see these bottoms on the drop here and the RSI bottoms on the rise. So we are seeing some bullish divergence currently playing out, potentially meaning that BTC could be bouncing back into structure here and potentially attacking the middle of this trend. We'll have to wait and see what happens as the day goes on. But again, today could be a good catalyst. If this report, again, is a meet or beat, I think that we're probably going to see some green in the market. There's no guarantees. But the question is what do the large entities think is coming? What are we seeing from them? Well, this same insider that has been very right on a lot of these recent moves in the crypto market has actually opened up $175.5 million in long positions in preparation for this report. So this actually equates to a $152.8 million position in terms of Ethereum and a $25.5 million position in terms of BTC. And they are both long positions. So they're actually betting that the crypto market is in fact going to move up. And the big question is it? They have been right many times before. This doesn't mean that they're going to be right again. But what I've said many times here is I feel like this CPI report has been they're expecting things to be a little too sticky. We know that consumer spending has been on the drop. We know that when we look at the true-flation data, it's cratered, and it's a question of, is that going to be reflected in this CPI report that we see from February? It's a big question mark. I don't know, guys. I don't know the answer to this. Me personally, I'm just kind of sitting patiently waiting. If I was smart, I would probably open up a hedged position, a long and a short position with max leverage, just to see which way things go. I'm not saying I'm going to do that. I'm not encouraging anybody else to do that, but I'm expecting massive swings today. Again, this is where you could start seeing ADA work back up towards 80 cents, like we were talking about earlier this week. And what I think is very interesting is that we're starting to see a little bit better impact from the good news. If you guys missed my Is It Finally Over video from last night, you guys should watch that, because we saw a couple good things take place yesterday. Tariffs slightly backing off in terms of Canada. It's a very big deal. It's been the loudest tariffs as of late. What we also saw is a little bit of an easing overseas. Ukraine and Russia potentially entering a ceasefire. We'll have to wait and see. We know that Ukraine has agreed to the agreement. So we just have to see now if Russia's on board with that. But things might be starting to align for a little bit more of a bullish push in the crypto market. I'm not saying this is the moment we're going to moon or anything like that, but it is the setup for some potential green after what seems just like an endless sea of red. So that's what I got for you guys. I appreciate you as always. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below. What do you think this is going to bring today? Do you think this whale is going to be right? Do you think we're going to see a pump out of this data? But appreciate you guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts. Have a great day. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.